Today, we take another look into the world of rare diseases in our ongoing series, Behind the Mystery. 1 in 10 Americans has a rare disease, and there are 7,000 rare diseases afflicting people from infants to seniors. Joining us with some astonishing insight into these often debilitating conditions is Nicole Boice, founder and president of the Global Genes Rare Project. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having us.
No, I'm so glad you're here. Really important to talk about this because I hear it from a lot of people that have rare diseases, and they tell me, Christy, there's little to no support for so many of us suffering from a rare disease. Is it a reality?
It's an astonishing reality. So there's 7,000 rare diseases. 1 in 10 Americans have a rare disease, and over 350 million people worldwide. With those statistics, you would think that there would be a lot of support, but no one knows about rare disease. And so I like to compare this rare disease world and the journey that these parents go on with breast cancer, and it's somewhat astonishing. So when you're diagnosed with breast cancer as a woman, you have a lot of fear and uncertainty, and there's a lot of unknowns, but there's a lot of knowns. Like, you know that you have local support, you know that you have national support, you know that there's been billions of dollars that have been raised for research.
Sure.
You know that when you walk into the physician's office that there's a plan and a protocol on treatment, and
you know that more women are surviving today now than ever.
Absolutely. So now let's compare that to the rare disease journey, right? In most instances, you walk into a physician's office, they don't know what the heck's going on.
Really?
You end up going to start doing research and try to find something out there that's going to give you, an inkling of what are my next steps. There's no local support. There's no real national support. There's not billions of dollars being raised for this research right now. And so you're kind of thrown out there on your own.
So Nicole, educate me here. What types of conditions fall under the rare disease umbrella?
So there are 7,000. Some of these names you can barely pronounce: Batten's disease, ataxia-telangiectasia, juvenile dermatomyositis. Wow. Interestingly and sadly, about 50% of the rare diseases, according to the National Institute of Health, affect children, and about 80% are genetic in origin. So a lot of the research that's being done right now is looking at how can we better understand the genetic makeup of these families, of these kids, of these patients.
And let me tell you, you just named a couple, and I have never even heard of them, to be completely honest with you. Now, obviously, not enough research, maybe even little to no research at all. So how is this traditionally financed?
There's been a kind of a new onslaught of interest based on some legislation, but traditionally over the past 20 plus years, a lot of the research has been funded by patient advocates.
Really?
So if you think about, and this is another staggering fact, only about 10% of those 7,000 diseases have a foundation that supports them. So if you think about that, that means that any fundraising that's happening for research is really only happening in a very small segment of the population, right? Or of this community, because there isn't a coordinated effort. So patient advocates, advocacy organizations have traditionally funded some of the early research. Academia is now getting into it, but there's still a lag, a huge gap in funding. But now you see some, innovative biotech companies that are kind of taking the reins. And
so you kind of see the medical community kind of, sort of, if you will,
dipping their toes in now.
Dipping their toes in.
Thank God.
But not enough.
Not enough. Of the 7,000 diseases right now that we are aware of, there's only about 400 treatments and 0 cures.
Wow.
In regards to bringing the community together, absolutely. Not only do we talk a lot about bringing the rare disease community together, aggregating and unifying and coming together so that now we're a community of 350 million people worldwide. That's more than all cancers and AIDS combined on this planet. Rare disease is not rare.
This is not a sprint, but this is definitely a marathon. Sit right there. We're going to talk more. We're going to take a break right now, and when we come back, Nicole will talk to us about what we can do to support the fight against rare diseases. Again, it's a marathon, but we're going to get involved, right? We'll be right back.
Thank you.
We're back with Nicole Boice, founder of Global Genes Rare Project, an advocacy group for the millions that make up the rare disease community, a community that largely and sadly falls under the radar. All right, so let's continue and talk about this. How do we go about creating awareness, nationally, globally?
Well, so we talked about kind of coming together and unifying this community, right? We need a concerted effort to really, within the medical community, the patient community, we're working very closely with industry to help create awareness and a plan and a protocol for physicians, education programs for patients and their caregivers. From a worldwide acceptance perspective, we are trying to build a campaign that makes it easy for people to get engaged.
Good, good.
So Global Jeans was actually created by parent advocates. There's a really neat link between the jeans that you wear and the jeans in our body.
Cool.
Hence, Global Jeans. So we're asking the world to get involved. I would say first, go into your community. If 1 in 10 Americans have a rare disease, everyone knows someone with a rare disease. So start thinking about who they are and how you can help.
And I love the care about rare.
Care about rare.
That is great.
The denim ribbon, last year we distributed over 40,000 denim ribbons all around the world that were all made by volunteers, kids in schools. Another way to get involved. This year we'll be distributing about 100,000 around the globe as well, which is big for this community that, we're just kind of launching these efforts. And this is for you, our Hope hat. Please wear it.
And even a bracelet.
And a bracelet.
You came equipped.
Yep.
Well, you know what? When they started the campaigns with the breast cancer, it started small, and then where we've come. So you're definitely making a mark and making a difference.
Hope is kind of the theme. Hope is in your genes.
Oh.
It kind of relates to the efforts happening right now with science and research, genes, genetics, right? That we're going to be able to uncover some of these diseases and help find treatments and cures for this community that's so deserving.
Well, with people like you, I have no doubt you're going to be very successful, and you're more than welcome to come back here anytime to talk about this.
Excellent. Thank you so much. It was wonderful.
I really appreciate it. I'm even going to wear my hat for you. All right? I'm not a hat girl, but why not? I'm going to wear the hat. And if you want more information on all of the subjects that we've been talking about today, go to globalgenes.org and spell Global Genes. That's Genes, not the jeans. But do wear the jeans. Once again, globalgenes.org.